Hello, it's 𝐬𝗶𝗲𝗺 here. So today I have Stefania Pearl. Stefania Pearl is one of our clients here at doingcoaching.com. She has an awesome story that's going to share with us today, which I'm looking forward to actually dig deep into. So Stefania started from zero with her coaching business. Now she's got a coaching business that she really believes in, that's viable, and that has attracted some people who have seen value in her and really invested a lot of money in working with her to, to help them with her coaching. And so first of all, congrats on that, on having a coaching business that's now viable, that you truly believe in now. And thank you for taking the time talking to me today. So I'll let you introduce yourself and tell us who you are, what you do as a coach, and whom do you work with, and what do you help them with. So over to you, Stefan.
Okay, well, thank you, 𝘁𝗍𝗶. Thank you, first of all, for all the coaching and perseverance and support and encouragement you've given me over this period. It's been amazing, phenomenal, and I'm so grateful, because I know I probably haven't been the easiest person to work with, but you certainly have made it easier. So I'd like to thank you. Yeah, to just let your audience know what I do. I'm a men's love relationship coach and hypnotherapist. So I do work particularly with men, both men that are single or in a relationship. So I basically help men build a rock solid relationship by simply understanding female energy. Yes, that's what I do.
Awesome. And what made you to decided to coach on this topic and help men particularly? Yeah.
Particularly? Well, that's a really interesting question, because I get that asked all the time. I particularly chose men because a lot of my own experiences, I guess, but to really empower men and help them in their journey of navigating through relationships, whether they're looking for a new relationship, or whether they're already in a relationship but want to reignite and spark it up a little bit and create that real energy, which sometimes can kind of like drift. Couples can kind of drift apart after being together for so long, or even men that have come out of relationships and trying to deal with healing from past trauma, healing from toxic relationships where men are afraid and have real trust issues. So with what I do through the coaching and obviously through the hypnosis, which is a really great modality, I feel, particularly for men, because it helps them. It's not invasive. It gets straight through. It cuts right through to the subconscious mind. Cuts through the analytical mind to get into the subconscious mind. So it's less invasive, and I feel that it's a great way, and men really enjoy it without it being invasive.
Awesome, yeah. And also, like, I know that you are a founder of the Gentleman's Square. So tell us more about the Gentleman's Square, and also that's an awesome name, Gentleman's Square. So how did that name come about as well?
Yes. Okay. Well, the Gentleman's Square started, I guess, when I was in Italy, because I haven't been, long back in Australia. I was living for 7 years in Italy, and that's when I met 𝘁𝗍𝗶 and came to work with you back then, because remember I was coming back with
you're in Australia now, so you were in Italy at the time.
At the time, yeah, but because when I actually connected with you, it was around Christmas time, and I was here in Australia visiting, and I went back to Italy. Yeah, so in Italy we have piazzas, where there's the churches, the cathedrals, you'd have the Duomo, so you'd have the piazza with the Duomo, and there was the particular city that I lived in, Syracuse. I'd always walk past this piazza, and piazza in Italian is, in English, is square, means square. Yeah. And the Italian men particularly, would particularly sit around and talk and gather and do all that sort of, connecting between men in the square. So the
okay.
piazza, and we call that La Piazza degli Uomini in Italian. And I kind of like translated it in English. I said, the Gentleman's Square. Yes, that's what I'm going to call my business, the Gentleman's Square. So that's how the name came about. And yeah, I think it's catchy, it's masculine, and it does draw attention to men as well.
Yeah, it's definitely an awesome name. So that's why I was curious to find out how did you come about? Yeah. Okay, got you. So before we started working together and obviously working with us here doing coaching.com, so what was going on with your coaching business at the time? What was happening?
So that last question, what was? I missed it.
Before we started working together with me here doing coaching.com. So what was going on with you at the time in your coaching business? Like, what was the situation like then?
Yeah, all right. So I think I'd pretty much say I was a little bit lost. That's where I was. I didn't really know, where I was going. I think, I knew what I wanted, but I didn't really know how to get there. And I feel after going through the course and, having the one-on-one coaching with you, 𝗁𝗂, I think that really gave me more direction and more clarity, definitely clarity. I think I had what I wanted, but I was just jumbled. And I think with working with you and through the course, it definitely gave me a roadmap and clarity as to which direction to go and how to go about it. Yeah, so that's where I was.
Yeah, I think I kind of remember it, because I think at the time you went having developed your program. When we started, I remember we were working on your program, and then like we're putting the structure together.
Yes.
So I think kind of recall that. Yeah. And what was your initial, what made you decided to work with me and doing coaching.com at the time?
Okay, I think.
What stood out for you? That I think I can work with them.
What's that? What
stood out for you?
What stood out? Definitely. I think thinking back now, definitely was just your. We're just working with you. I guess you were there. You were, dedicated in knowing where I was at. You supported me. You encouraged me. And if anyone is in business or going through or training through this, you'll know that it's not easy. And on an emotional level too, I feel that you were a great support. And you again kind of like drew me back into staying focused. So I would say your support, you definitely was what stood out. And I thoroughly recommend anyone to work with you, definitely.
Awesome, thank you. And what was your initial experience of working together, like in those early days? I think I enjoyed it, but I think I was kind of myself, and my journey, it was a little bit the unknown. So I was a little bit hesitant because, I was going in different waters, when you're swimming in different waters. So you're always feeling a little bit uncomfortable. But then, working with you, you also helped me get comfortable with being uncomfortable, if that makes sense. Okay, awesome. Got that. Now the Gentleman's Square obviously is really an awesome brand, and a lot of people that you engage with, they see the value, like especially your IT clients, which are men, they see the value and how you can help them. And also you've recently acquired some of the VIP clients. So tell us a little bit more about where things are now and in the future, and your vision moving forward with the Gentleman's Square.
Okay. So working with men and working with VIP men that are driven, that really want to improve, not only their relationship with their partners, but their own relationship as well. My vision is to, create a real digital platform where men can come to it. And I've already got a men's group, which is wonderful.
Awesome. Yeah.
A men's group on Facebook. It's called Rock Solid Relationships for Men. And I'm planning now, I'm in the making of creating a talk show, a weekly talk show. And yeah, I'm not quite sure what the name is going to be, but I won't say yet because I'm not final, but it's definitely going to be where I bring in different guest speakers together with men that, average people that, have issues and problems, and ladies. I want to have the ladies on board, so that way the men can actually get to hear the ladies' versions as well. So there's going to be some,
So just to have a balance, which that's awesome.
Yeah, because ideally men want to meet with women, and it's not a matchmaking meeting up kind of show, but it's more about really talking about real, reality situations in relationships that I'm sure a lot of people may identify with.
So yeah, and how has been your experience working with your clients, obviously as a coach? Just share with us what in terms of okay, when you're working with them, you see them coming working with you at the beginning, and then you see them transforming, and then you see them got the help from you. So just share with us the experience of working with men as
Okay, well, definitely working with men has been really interesting. I mean, I love men, and I work really well with men because I've always worked with men. But in this area, men sometimes can be a little bit skeptical, hesitant to be speaking to a woman, particularly because it's hard enough for men to open up in general, but then to be opening up and speaking to a woman. But I have experienced great clients. I've experienced, clients that, obviously they need to warm up to you. They need to know, trust factor. And I think just persevering and just kept doing, I've kept doing what you have encouraged me to do, and, connecting, making conversation, reaching out, being of service, and then inviting them, on a call. And I think it's very organic, but it's very personal. And that's what I think is really important. And that's what you taught me, is to still remain very personal with my clients. And that's what they've liked.
Okay. Yeah.
Because in today's times, it's just so hard to get someone on a call or personally speak to them. A lot of it's all digital, or click here, click there, or there's a video, you're talking to a video. So, particularly because I'm dealing with relationships, men do like that contact.
And also, I noticed that once they talk to you, and then that's when they start to feel better about themselves. Obviously, it's hard for them to open up to you, but once they overcome that, and then they feel good about themselves, and it's easier for you to help them to get the results as clients.
Yes, absolutely. They they get over the initial, oh, are we having a video call? Oh, only if you want, so I make it very comfortable, and they get to choose whether they want to come on video or whether they just want it to be a normal, non-visual call. So
what would you say, how is it important as a coach to make sure that your clients get the results that they came to you for?
I think what is really important is to be very present and to keep that connection going. And I think, you know, you have obviously done that with me, and I've picked up from that. And I think that that's really important, because that client may, you know, tell another client, you know, and tell another client, because if you've had good service, you know what it's like. I mean, I know that particularly as a woman, women love to like say, oh, you know, go and see that person. Yeah, go and have, you know, go and have your hair done over there because he's amazing. Or, and the same thing comes with coaching. And I have, you know, shared with some people my journey with you, you know, so I think that's gonna be a reflection of who you are. So that is really important. So keeping that connection up, and being present, and being accountable, not just, it's not about the money, just really sticking to the service and providing good service, because people will not forget how you made them feel.
Yeah.
You know, they may forget what you look like, or, you know, what you did, but they won't forget how you made them feel. Whether, you know, obviously, you know, our goal is to make people feel wonderful and good. And that is the lasting impression that I believe is important when connecting with people, and, you know, wanting to have them work with you, because, you know, you can help them.
Yeah, so far you've worked with 30 clients as a coach. And what has been overall experience, would you say?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been interesting, and I've had some amazing results. I've still got some clients that just they're just wanting to just keep getting coached, because not because they've got major problems, but, you know, everyday life. And particularly at the moment with the situation that the world's in with COVID, that has been a very, you know, it's created a lot of stress, particularly on relationships, whether it be, you know, intimate relationships or work relationships or family relationships. And I think that's still kept people wanting to develop and improve themselves and be better versions of themselves, because times are changing, situations are changing, relationships are always changing. So yeah,
it's true. So obviously I can see that obviously you've got a bigger vision for this coaching business and the brand Gentleman Square. So would you say that this coaching business is not giving you the life that you truly desire, the desire of like helping people, and also allowing you to live the life the way you really want?
Is this business allowing me to live the life that I really want? Did you say?
Yeah, is it this coaching business that, obviously I see the vision from where you are and where you're going.
Yes.
So
well, yeah. Well, I'll tell you, it has enabled me to live the life that I want. Why? Because I have two elderly people that I actually caretake, you know, my parents. So having this business has enabled me to still be very present for them and care for them, and then still be able to be present for my clients. I am in control of, you know, the hours I work and when I work. And sometimes I get up very early in the morning, like 4 in the morning, to be present for clients. But then I know that I've got time during the day that I have to deal with my parents. And then at nighttime, when they're in bed, I can, you know, still do stuff. So yeah, it has enabled me to do that. And I don't think I could have done that. I could have been present for them if I hadn't have created this in the way that I have, and with my programs and courses.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Yeah. What would you give? What advice would you give to anyone who's in the program? Because you've been into the program, you work with us. So what advice would you give to anyone who's just starting out and who's working with me or doing coaching coming up program?
Well, I'd say just if you're thinking about it, definitely go for it.
Mhm.
Simply because the results, are there, and I can speak for my results. Don't give up. Remain very positive, because there's not always going to be highs. There are lows. Let's face it. Anyone else that says there isn't is lying to you. So, but the reward is great, and once you see that happening, and you are feeling more fulfilled because you are servicing. And for me, that's been very important. It's been very gratifying and satisfying, where I've been able to really service and help people, help men really get to where they want, particularly with their confidence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And so obviously earlier on you did mention that you are looking to start the talk show for men, and then also like obviously you're growing your group and other things. So I was just gonna ask again. So what's next for you in the future with your coaching business and the Gentleman's Square?
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting question. I think being able to create like a legacy in some way, where men can actually come together and feel empowered by women, really be able to not shy away, I guess, but really step into their own male energy and own their power, and be able to understand female energy at the same time, which doesn't mean, be wussy or anything. It just means being more emotionally intelligent, having more emotional intelligence. And I think a lot of men are starting to realize that that's the way to go.
Yeah.
It's not all about physical, but it's about, tapping into that energy and understanding a woman from a woman's perspective, because I think male coaches are great. Male therapy, male to male therapy is fantastic. But I think there is a place where a woman can actually bring, that information home to men from a female perspective, and being an advocate. And that's what I am, not empowering men. My goal is to empower men. I'm not here to come from any other direction or just, cheer on women. No, but also, let men know that of the red flags, for example, the women, there's all different types of women. So being aware and more discerning of what's around them and how to deal with them.
Got you. So obviously you are very busy, because as you say that you are working as a coach full time and also looking after your folks, which is awesome, and also busy with these communities where you help men. So far you've taken few VIP clients. Are you looking to take more as time goes, work with more VIP clients? Because I'm asking this because I know when you're working with your clients, it's very close. Like you pay attention to detail, you closely, and like you say, it's very personal to really help them. So would you be taking more clients moving forward as a coach? Like, let's say someone listening to this interview and then they can feel like maybe.
Yeah. Well, at this stage, I've still got a few more openings for, my VIP, working one-on-one. And then eventually I think, definitely I'll be having to scale down, because there's only one of me.
Yeah.
So, and when I'm working with men, I'm not only working on, I'm working all round. So it's emotional, mental, spiritual, and physical. So I'm also a personal trainer and and a well-being coach. So I advise them about nutrition, a little bit of nutrition and well-being, but helping them also get physically in shape if that's what they want, depending on what the game plan is for them. But it's an all-inclusive, so
Awesome.
it's
Yeah.
giving men a total overhaul.
Yeah, pretty much cover all the areas so that they can really go and get the results that they came to you for.
Yeah, because it's, some men think it's all about just having a six-pack. Well, it's not. Women, sure, women are attracted to men that look after themselves, but they're also, it's a combination of everything, how, you interact with a woman and intellectually as well.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I do, there's wide areas. So everyone has different needs in different ways.
Gotcha, yeah. So obviously, there's some sports available for your VIP program. So people listening to this, maybe this resonate with them. I mean, some gentlemen, maybe this might resonate with them. So where can they find you?
Okay, so they can find me at www.thegentlemen'ssquare. So it's MEN plural, thegentlemen'ssquare.com. I also have Facebook. So Stefania 𝗶𝗶𝗺, Rock Solid Relationship. So you can either join my via the men's group, which is purely for men, or follow me on Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course I have my YouTube channel, The Gentleman's Square, which I have regular downloads, information, free content, and I do have an ebook that you can download for free, which is I have got 2 books, but one recent one is 5 ways to make juicier connections with women, and that's a free download.
Oh, that sounds interesting. Yeah, for sure. And what about the other one?
The other one is Master the Language of Attraction. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I can see this definitely benefiting men. Okay, Stefania. And just one more thing. Obviously, some people will say, "How do I start?" Okay, I want to check you on. I want to connect with you on Facebook or LinkedIn. So how do I say a name? Like, how do I type a name? So, if you could quickly help us, like, with your pronunciation of your name and surname, so that people.
Oh, okay. So it's Stefania, Stefania, and the surname is 𝗶𝗶𝗺, 𝗶𝗶𝗺. It's very simple, 𝗶𝗶𝗺. Yes.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Well, thank you very much for taking your time talking to me today and actually sharing your story and your experience with coaching, your coaching business and working with me. It's much appreciated. And I look forward to seeing you some more success with your coaching and the Gentleman's Square. So thanks a lot for talking to me today.
Thank you. Thank you, 𝘁𝗶𝗺, and thank you for all your help and support.
Very welcome. Thank you.